as played before. Great to see you out here. And come back with your question and let's see if we can find you some help. Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you. Name's Mike. It's Kilo Echo in Rush County, Indiana. And I had an old computer in here, the YL, and I got a new updated desk computer. So I gave my ex-YL her desktop back to her. And I get a Northwest Digital sub-DV dongle, the Andy 3000 dongle. And I got plugged in the front USB port of my custom-made tower here. And I'm running LBRY for Windows software made by David in the Netherlands there. 2007, Lima, India, Mexico. I'm running version 9631. And for some odd reason, I can talk on Fusion and D-Star and NXDN just fine. But on DMR, I've been listening on Talk 391 worldwide for days now. And have not heard any stations above the app at all. Haven't heard no transmissions from 91 worldwide, USA 3100, and etc. And it worked before on DMR. So I didn't change nothing. The COM ports are all exactly the same. I was wondering if anybody else is having this problem with their dongle. Whiskey Julie's on Nico. I can use any help if anybody's got any trying to resolve this question. Over.
I'm fine. SSR and the Absolute Net. And is there anyone out here that has can help Mike? J9E. It's 9E, I'm sorry. So is there anyone here that can help this question?
Hello, Charlie 5, Romeo, Juliet, Lima, Lewiston.
Next station was at Kilo Charlie 5. Can you assign for me, please?
Charlie 5, Romeo, Juliet, Lima, Radio, Japan, London.
Thank you, Ron there. I'm going to let you go ahead and talk to Mike here. I'm RJL. Go ahead.
Yes, Mike, I'm having the same problem. I've got my Ambi 3000 set up on a Pi 3B Plus, Raspberry Pi Linux, and reason I think it may be Brandmeister says user blocked. So that's all I know. I haven't talked to the people at Brandmeister yet. I don't know, but it's not just you. I haven't talked to anybody else that's 3000, but I was wondering the same thing as I fired it up for the first time, and after that it was running fine. I don't have an answer, but I have a similar problem. C5RJL, back to now.
K5RJL. Thank you. I appreciate you out. Is there anyone else out here that has any input on this? Go ahead. well, I would recommend it because you can't, it looks like there's a problem. Maybe they have a forum or something that they just have forums that you want to, and maybe there would be an answer there. Or send your comments to a Facebook page, and maybe you can find an answer there. I don't know if you're on our Facebook page, but you could find it. WJ9E. That would be an idea. Anyone else out here that could help these people with this issue? Every time I go ahead and call out and see if there's somebody, because I do hear some. Is there anyone else out here that could have a possible answer? Go ahead. Well, I'm sorry we don't have the answer today, Mike, but don't give up, and Lewis, don't give up, and you guys just keep on listening, and as I said, join our Facebook page, and maybe you can find an answer there, or if they have a forum, you can check that out as well. That would be what sometimes the marriage how well Google works. I'm not really a fan, but it does work. All right, with that, is there anyone else out here that has a question? Or maybe want to tell us about a project that you have going on that you would like to share? I5SSO, the Amplitude Modulation. Go ahead.
I just have my phone with an impossible situation on that last color.
Well, hey, emergency dictionary. 87MR, go ahead.
I've had to come back on it. It very well could be a change of IP. Once you change from one computer to another on the dongle, it could very well be just a change in IP. So I know I've had to change uplinks several times in the last week, and re-established uplink, and that's been some of the problems with my uplink. By changing the uplink, I changed IP addresses. It's probably several times because of some of the stuff that was just messing up on the uplink. So that very well could be with the dongle, my partner is getting in the way of my talking. I'm glad I just had enough to know about the
Well, hey, thank you, AE7MR, KI5SSO. We appreciate that, Terry. Mike, are you still there? Do you think that could help you? That's you.
Whiskey Juliet 9 Echo. I just brought up my setting for Blue TV, and it does look like I got a different code/IP. It's 192.168.1.10. I think before it was the IP address was 10.0.0.15.5. So that might be a problem right there. What about you, Lewis?
How about you, Lewis? Could that be a possible frequency as well? KC5RJS? There. Well, thank you. Appreciate that, Terry. That was some very good information. And Well, I just appreciate everybody that's here that's trying to help each other, and I can make this net run. And really appreciate the help. And I know that Mike out there does appreciate that. So thank you, Terry. And hopefully maybe on out there heard that. Maybe they'll figure that out too. Maybe it's the same thing. You never know. All right. Well, this is I5 SSR, and this is the Absolute Fitness. And we're looking for more questions. Or if you want to tell us about something you're working on that you're excited about, please come and share it with the group. This is the I5 SSR. We are looking for your call sign. Go ahead.
You will show 9 and get to your Colorado. 9 equals Colorado. Copy. And the number 5, American, invited to rent the comment.
Okay, we just get a couple here. I'm assuming that the person that says mostly Mike, M5OTM, and also Chris, K29IJD, is just yes. So let's put this comment there. So go ahead, A5OTM. That's how you're doing today. Great to job. Anybody else out of the most of the business side, or do you want to make there was someone else that had a comment, so let's just see if there's any other information coming on the TV. Go ahead.
Comment S6UNH.
Okay, yes, N6UNH, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just talking today with one of our club members who just downloaded the image and was playing around with it this afternoon. One important thing to keep in mind, I mean, it is a very versatile tool. There are a lot of things it'll do, but one important thing to keep in mind is that if you want to do WinLink that does not support the official WinLink application, you have to use that WinLink, which is fine, the email client, but it also does not support VARA FM or VARA HF. VARA only runs on Windows PCs, so you're limited to standard packet for VHF, UHF, and also RDOC if you want to check computing spectrum.
Well, thank you, N6UNH. Thank you very much. That was that's great information to know as well. It is brand new. I've never heard of it. So thank you for sharing that as well. And there was another comment out there. The person that said comment that I did not get the call sign. Can you turn that call sign, please, on the comment earlier? Go ahead.
She's on November 6th. You'll let it go through.
Okay, thank you. I picked up both of you, but since I was lost, did you know, go ahead and invite me to I'll go ahead and invite us to come.
lot of prominence, and I highly encourage you guys to look him up. He's a YouTube content creator. Once you get signed on to Patreon with whatever donation you want to get, you'll get access to the logout information and how to install the information. Okay, that's all we've got. Back to control.
Well, thank you, Sam. We appreciate that, Matthew. That was very informative. Appreciate you sharing that information as well. We appreciate that. Thank you. I want to hear more about it, that's for sure. Let's go talk to KC9IJB, and I think you have a first question. Chris, over to you. So I5 SSR in the action.
Yeah, thanks for hosting up and providing us with YouTube. I've never heard about that. I'm actually going to do that now. So, expect to pick some more projects that I can play with that. When I'm getting involved in the matching concept, LoRa, something coming up along, but very limited stuff with ham options on it. That's not going to be involved. iPad, iPhone, Android device, settings, whatever computer you have, and that's technically not relying on cellular network. So I configured these based on videos, cool things I've all been sitting around. I've got my computer set up, got the encryption. What I want to do is set up my rack, store, processing, way up, and have to do that simply. Here's the thing, a lot of here. That's the routing. The connection is really ridiculous. You really have to use that camera to set up the staff. That connected control is KC9.
Well, thank you, KC9IJB and I5 SSR. Is there anyone out there that don't have some interest in this here? Go ahead.
KC702 Kilo 7 Echo Oscar Kilo X.
thank you so much for that, Ed. This is pretty well. So, what this is any of the countries
That's TCM, IJB. Good to hear that, Ed. That's actually good to hear all the people are working on the project. Yeah, I wanted a little review after that. Seems like you and others that are playing with technology pretty awesome. And my whole thing is, I said it, forget it, it's going to work, but realize it. It's not necessarily just a hand thing, right? It's a task web thing. Map and implementation is I guess the context is less of that. So Peter left really fantastic. Nothing else. Not sure what for, but also fantastic. Very guys, we're going to review up and provide something that is easier for technology. But I'll leave it at that. IJB, that's the other one. That's it.
Well, thank you, KCM, IJB, KSIVSO, and I suggest that awesome we appreciate it. Donuts and one of the students here, and it's really interesting. Yeah, it's just learning experience to it. And I listen to the Black Rainbow students but thank you very much for doing that. And I appreciate all the people who have responded. Is there anyone else that would like to make a comment here in this topic? Go ahead.
Download the app on your iPhone, Android, whatever, smartphone, up there blood basis, and it performed real good. So check it out, guys. Call Ron about it. Code 462. Thank you so much, and stay out by this code 462. That's it.
Well, thank you to Code 462 for our 5 call. We're absolutely checked out. Is there anyone out there that would like to ask those a question about this or have any comments on it? Go ahead. And all I did was KIA. You come up with your full call sign there, wait when you see it, 60 seconds, please, and then come on with the call sign.
KQ4, KIH, Kilo Quebec 4, Kilo India Hotel. I'm just to check in today. I'm going to look into that radiogram. It looks really interesting. And I'm going to be sort of listening, but I've got to jump onto the Skywarn for my area. So I found it into your net, just rolling around the dial the other day and last week. And it's really interesting. Very, very intriguing. What all y'all have to say. Thank you very much.
Well, Robert, thank you very much for doing some tickets out. I guess we need to move on to that. But yeah, this is a great and interesting net, and the people that are here is what makes this net work. So thank you very much. At KIA, you have a wonderful day. If you just tuned in, you are listening to the Absolute Test Net, and we are here every Tuesday at 7 so right here on the D.in, you can check out our website. We have all kinds of ways to connect as well. So you can check out our website. We also have a Facebook page. And if you want to join in, if you're on the session, you can take it there. And they can help you find an answer. So they have some really interesting stuff on there. They have all kinds of links, by the way, on our website. You would be amazed. If you don't use that language, you find a link there. If you go under on our links page, under amateur radio logging programs, you'll find NetLogger. You can download NetLogger on AM windows. There are a lot of people who put great information in there. So do check that out. That's very important. And let's see. All right, so we're looking for somewhere to go with some tech questions. Anyone with some tech questions? Or if you would like to comment, or if you have something you're working on you would like to share, or something you recently found out, like our president here, who's coming to talk time Tucson, so it's the medical. I'm not saying your name because you especially would like to share. Go ahead.
KQ4, November Bravo Whiskey from Atlanta, Bobby, the name. So the last broadcaster, sorry I don't have the call line in front of me, this is after I caught the very end of it. What was the app for specifically?
Go ahead, Walter.
KQ4, MBW, I think it's your call sign though. It's called LBRY. It's an app that you can put over your smartphone. And there's a video on YouTube. If you just Google LBRY /Remix or Remix/LBRY, and they'll pull some videos up there on YouTube, and you can send text, just like, if there's no cell phone service or anything like that, you can still send text using your HF equipment or your VHF have UHF equipment though, so it works really great. So I hope that answered your question. And like I said, the videos are pretty much self-explanatory there. Let me take a quick pause. When you open the app, go to your settings, and there's a little, that middle ways down there, there's a window there, and there's anonymous, delete anonymous, and put your phone sign in there. Exit that, go back and up in the right-hand corner, there's a little text bubble there. Just click on that, type your text, and then once you get your message typed out, there's a little transcript button highlighted down at the bottom of the screen, and see your microphone and your radio in the transcript, just sound like a little bit of rattle paper, and then once it's through, the rattle deal, your message has been sent. So, but someone else has to have the app open, have it on their phone also, and things like that for it to work. So, hope that answers your question. 204, Charlie, good night, comment. Back to me.
Did that answer the question for you? And are you interested in maybe using that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think so. Thanks for the information. The part that I missed at the very end was that the end user had to have the app as well for the text to work. So thank you for the information. And for now, so back to you.
All right, well, thank you, Coach Newport and Drew Wilson. Thank you very much, Doctor. You have a great day today, and thank you for checking in, and thank you for being interested. Other comments, or is there something you would like to share going on, or working on a project that you're needing some help, and you have a question, go ahead and bring it to the group, please. This is NI5SSR. We are listening.
Kilo 9 Oscar Papa Echo. Kilo 9 Oscar Papa Echo. John, Capone Link, Global.
All right, we picked up John, K903. John, go ahead.
Yeah, Kilo 9 Oscar Echo. I had a question about running coax to my attic. So I was wondering if I could just knock a hole in the drywall and add a panel. Would that be either a code violation, or would that be the worst thing for my coax? Because I operate mainly with that. Right now I have a radio that I'm tuned to. It's headless, but I can still Bluetooth to it. Not the greatest connection. I just want to run hard line, RG58, I think, up into the attic. So, to summarize the question, can I just knock a hole into the drywall in my ceiling and just run the coax back on? K9OTE.
All right, if somebody wants to answer, go ahead.
They force me to think will answer that question.
Go ahead, Moses.
State forces, you can, you can run your coax through the ceiling like that, no problem, no issue whatsoever, and so forth. So, 466.
Kilo Delta Delta Niner Yankee India Uniform. Kilo Delta Niner Yankee India Uniform. John in West Chicago, Illinois.
Well, hey, thank you, KD9 and YIG. We got you that time. This is for the girls also, so I'm still taking check-ins with comments and there with that. So go ahead. Those are the two stations that I've heard, so if you have your call time, go ahead and come on back with your call time.
Victor, 5 Romeo, 5 Victor, 5 Romeo, 5
Well,
they've been good for a long time, so that size up really well, and there's everything new with them, and now that monitor, just need more monitors. Anyway, thank you very much, Ron. All right, with that, is there anyone else out there that would like to make a comment? Or you're working on a project you would like to share with the Amplitude technicians? We would love to hear it. We love everyone to be sharing information, and let's have this group really work together. Or just want to get on the line. So anybody with a question or want to share anything, please send us a call sign. Please tell us more slowly and phonetically followed by saying your name and
Kilo Quebec 4, November Bravo Whiskey. Kilo Quebec 4, November Bravo Whiskey. I have a question about thinking about setting up a station in the upstairs bedroom, and outside the window is great access to an old dish network antenna. Is there any way to make that work on the HF or VHF or UHF frequencies? Thank you.
all right, my side so far, does anybody have an answer for Casey's board? And we will go ahead. Okay, hey, Mike, all I got was the comments at the end of your call sign. So if you could wait for the a few seconds, please, and then give the call sign. And give me a few times, please, phonetically and slowly. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, thanks for that. And Rachel has been saved as well. Forget about it. VHF, UHF, your station had a break. I'm out for another year. VHF, VHF, my comment is NextGenX customer.
Well, thank you, Inside OCN. I was wondering about that. All right, so back to you, Bobby. Back to you, Casey Court.
Yes, it helps a lot. It means I have to climb out of the roof, unscrew some stuff, and throw things in the trash. But I thank you all for my guidance. I kind of knew it was going to be a solution for me to putting up a dipole in the tree somewhere, but thank you anyway. TQ4, November Bravo Whiskey, back to you now.
Well, hey, thanks for Liberty Coast Radio Germany. We're glad that you can help us with Radio Germany Ocean. We've got to be free to ask you. What if this is long? So then you can put more questions, which is the absolute technique. If you don't have a question, if you have a comment, or you have a project that you're working on, or thinking about working on, as Bobby is here, please bring it to us. We all would like to help. So this is K-I-5 Ultrasound. Please, before you your telephone, please just pause for a couple seconds after you see up and please send us the call sign, start slowly and phonetically, followed by spelling your name down.
Victor Echo 3, Radio Germany Ocean. Victor Echo 3, Radio Germany Ocean. George with a comment on the dish antenna.
We do our was to and went on purpose. I went in and anyway, thank you for the service. Thank you for listening. Let's go down here to Michael 873. Hello to you, Michael. How are you doing today? You absolutely excellent. You have a question or comment for us today? Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. This is Alpha Echo 7 Juliet Echo, Michael in Sutherland, Douglas County, Oregon. Too far from Roseburg. Just more of a comment. Forgive me if I brought it up before, it's probably been a little while. As far as HF goes, there are several videos, and I've tried it myself, where certain things plugged into the wall, specifically certain phone chargers or more so the cheap big box, store-bought USB converters. You plug it into the wall, you get 3 or 4 or 5 USB ports. Some of those little ones that are the type that has the cigarette lighter type adapter can create quite a frequency interference for HF. And also a lot of the LED lights can cause interference for any kind of radio, mostly HF. And that is sometimes when you have a dimmer switch that's not fully compatible with your LED lights, but sometimes no matter how good your dimmer switch is, certain LED lights can cause interference with HF. Everything else I would mention I've been studying about is more related to radioactive radon or glass resistant material. So that's not exactly ham radio related. So unless you have your ham radio in your basement, then January is the testing month. So thanks for having me back in there. Maybe 7 days.
Well, thank you, Mike. I hope you know that you guys can my service is very angry because I have to stop my them. You know, the things you pick on and try to block the signal. And, every time we make HF, that's what we have to do. So I have to step in and turn it on and off. So I'm just going to try to put an end to that. You have no radio, but it might be the light. But thank you very much, Mike. We appreciate that. If you could just make the second say, please, and let's go talk to Ed. Okay, that's good. And we would like to see Ed. How are you doing today?
You're really good at the trip, so
said, okay, this is the altitude test now. And this is the outside of the thing. This is the question. We still have under 30 minutes here, about 25 actually. So it'll be 50 minutes question coming up. So if there's something you'd like to share with the group, and please use the compound slowly and phonetically. Yes. Please wait until you come. 60 seconds there, so you can compound. Go ahead.
Kilo Quebec 4, Kilo India Hotel. Kilo Quebec 4, kick it hard. I have a question. also use a nitrogen.
Hey, thank you, Virgil. I did hear another station out there that was talking about the day-to-day contact with the space station. So this station can have is just on time, Golf 3, Sierra, Echo, Alpha. Is that you? Doubling with me, and so go ahead and repeat what you said. I caught it in the background there. So VH7GSM, please share that with us. Go ahead.
To start, I'm using an app that is the ISS Finder, and that way I can tell when the next path is going to be above me. And I'm not using any special tracker. All I'm using is the app to tell me when and where the spaceship station is going to come up and where it's going to go down. And I'm using a directional just
Good evening. This is Kilo Charlie 9er Uniform Delta X-Ray. My name is Matt, and I welcome you to the 2 a.m. net. The purpose of this net is to promote to promote the use of amplitude modulation, and also to establish this part of this band as a place for AM activity in this area. Everyone is invited to listen. Licensed amateurs who can do so legally are encouraged to check in. We listen in the AM mode and transmit in the AM mode where possible. If you cannot transmit in AM, we encourage you to listen in AM and transmit in FM. If you are transmitting in FM, please adjust your transmit frequency a couple kcs above or below from our receive frequency. This facilitates the use of slope detection, that is, demodulating your FM signal with our AM receivers. When checking in, please announce your call sign in standard phonetics. Again, this is KC9UDX, and I will now begin accepting check-ins. Any stations wishing to check in, please come now.
KC9UDX, this is November 9, Charlie, X-Ray, Kilo, Carol.
KC9UDX, this is W9JCC, Frank.
And Whiskey Bravo 9, Bravo Whiskey Papa.
All right, we're off to a good start. And Carol, you beat Frank to the punch, but recognizing and welcoming N9CXK Carol, W9JCC Frank, and WB9B excuse me, WB9BWP Dave. Do we have anybody else?
KC9UDX. This is November 9, Foxtrot, Sierra, Echo. Over.
All right, got one more. Recognizing and welcoming Steve, N9FSE. Do we have anybody else? All right, hearing none, I guess here we are at the Christmas edition of the 2 a.m. net. Although it hardly seems like it's that time of year already, but it is. This is our last net for the year until we start anew next month on the 9th. I see we have a lot of 9 days next year. 9th of January, 9th of April, 9th of July. Guess I never noticed that pattern before. And not too much else to talk about. Got a story about my wife's car, but we'll probably get to that a little later here. And one thing I probably should bring up is I've got a handheld radio here that sits on a shelf and pretty much just is on all the time and is charging all the time, and it's been like this for years. And sorry about that. I made a huge mistake years ago, apparently. I've got this nice 8 AA battery case attached to it. 8 cells, rather. And it always had nickel cadmium batteries in it. So that's why it's on the charger all the time. Well, I don't know when I would have done this or why, but I apparently took those NiCad batteries out and put alkaline batteries in there, and it's been on the charger for years. So I just happened to unplug it from the charger today, expecting it to stay turned on, and it turned off immediately. Well, I opened up the battery case, which I could barely get open, and I've got 8 cells that I have not seen so much corrosion ever before, I don't think, on AA batteries. But with that, we'll go to the top of the list. Carol, it's your turn. N9CXK from KC9UDX.
KC9UDX and .NET N9CXK. Well, yeah, I've seen those batteries before. Get your solution of baking soda and a brush and get to work. I don't know, it's probably been a long time since they started leaking in there, so I don't know if there's any hope of getting power through the battery compartment, but you never know. You never know. But there's a lot of handhelds out there. You'll probably just find another one. And it sounded like you were going to say, my mother's a car, but I guess it's your wife's car. That's what it was, yeah. Okay, let's see. The weekend was a 10-meter contest. There was a lot of guys that were making propagation. I don't think the propagation was that good over the weekend. I didn't hear big pileups or anything, but it was interesting. And each day in the late afternoon, all of a sudden, bang! The guys from California were coming in full scale, and then after about 20 minutes, they faded down, and they were gone. That propagation is holding true to form, I guess. Boy, this week at work is starting out pretty busy, but this time of year we have less people working, and they want a lot of projects finished by the end of the year, and it's not always my favorite time of the year. But I do have the week between Christmas and New Year's off. It took me 35 years to get that week off. So I'm going to keep hanging on to that one. But we got our Christmas tree here on Saturday, I think, and just a tall, skinny tree. Not very sturdy branches or anything, but it fit where we needed it. And it was $75. That's only because the one that was just a tad nicer was a little tall, and that was $95. I don't know, somewhere along the line this all got out of hand, I guess. I'm convinced we don't really need a real tree. I think one more artificial tree would be fine. One more nice artificial tree to put the presents under would be fine. And activity on the lake is very low, except for a couple of ducks and the beavers. That's about it. Don't have much else to add right now. I will listen and see what other people are talking about. N9CXK, over.
All right, thank you, Carol. I got to watch the meter here. Radio is misbehaving. I guess I missed the 10-meter contest. That's kind of unfortunate. I probably could have got on it. I was supposed to work, but I ended up not having to, which was okay, I guess. And, yeah, my work is always busy this time of year, too. It's absolutely ridiculous. We have a captive product, and the only reason that they can't schedule us to have less work this time of year is just poor management. There's no other excuse in the world. We have a captive product, and our customers do not buy our product at this time of year. But this is when we are the busiest. Just because they like to force us to work over the holidays. And we got a pretty skinny Christmas tree, too. It's pretty scraggly. It's a tall, pretty empty one. What it reminds me of is an artificial tree that my parents had when I was a kid. It's like all just wires with needles. And I think we only paid $55. I could be wrong, maybe it was $65. It sure wasn't much more than that. Got it from the tree farm over on I want to say it's Observatory Road, but it isn't. It's I think that's Wolfville Road there or something. I don't remember. I don't pay too much attention to road names. I grew up in Waukesha, where road names don't really matter. And with that, we'll go to Frank, W9JCC from KC9UDX.
Okay, thanks for that, KC9UDX. And Annette, W9JCC, and good evening to the other fellows that checked in. And Steve, thanks for the heads up, the QST there. I would have forgotten. I was busily working on cleaning up some insurance forms I've been working on. My insurance company decided to go strictly commercial and get out of the residential business. So I come up with something new here. I'm going to try to get it all straightened out before the end of the year. But I've been working on that. Just one of the things we've been working on. And on the batteries, yeah, I occasionally will find one starting to go bad. I got a lot of stuff with batteries in it. Backup lighting. I got a couple of these little lanterns that when they're folded up, they're off. When you pull the top off of them and the lights all come on, it's kind of an emergency thing. And I found that I've got to check those out about at least once a year, otherwise I'm going to have some corrosion. I did find a little bit and managed to clean it up enough so it's working again. And as far as Christmas trees goes, we haven't had a real tree, oh gosh, probably since I was a kid. Woody and I have always had imitation trees. And right now we're starting to back off a little. I've got two fairly good sized ones that we don't use anymore. One's probably a 8-footer or so. The other one's probably a 5 or 6 footer. And right now we put up I think about a 3-footer in the window. And well, we used to have another small one. We got a little porcelain one with little built-in lights, and we're trying to keep it real simple this year. All the Christmas celebrations are done over at my daughter's house on Christmas time. She hosts Christmas, and we don't have that much company, so we'll put up a lot and what's left to take down, I guess. And haven't been doing too much HF lately. I've missed the 40-meter AM nut again so far this week, but we'll try to make it on Thursday or Friday because they're on tomorrow. Anyway, that's all I got this round. Back to net, W9JCC.
All right, thank you, Frank. And we're glad you're here. Did miss you last month. I think it was last month. Yeah. That's okay. Just glad you're here. I have some of those, or did have some of those lanterns like you're talking about. I had one, one that was a really nice one, and the battery compartment was sealed up very well, and it took a lot of batteries. It took, I don't know, 16 D cells or something. It was ridiculous. And, of course, by the time the batteries are half dead, they're completely corroded over. The battery compartment was so well sealed that any little bit of moisture or whatever gets in there, I don't know exactly the cause. Maybe they overheat or what, but it seems like you hardly ever get to use the thing before the batteries are all corroded. And I guess I'm not terribly surprised about your insurance company. I ran into the same thing a few years ago. And had to switch, and it seems like now they want you to just keep switching, which is really obnoxious. I don't like that at all. I did switch after that happened, and of course the new company promised me a great lower rate, which, yeah, the first year they had a much lower rate, but then the second year they raised it up higher than it was to begin with, you know, with the other company. And then so I switched to a different one, and they did exactly the same thing. 1 year at a greatly reduced rate, and the next year at a higher than original rate. So I think that's the trend now. And I guess I don't care to play that game, even if it saves me a couple $100 1 year. So I'll just stick with the one I got until I can afford to not have insurance anymore, I guess. And speaking of stuff like that, Waukesha County seems to have their act together with the tax bills this year. I was pretty shocked. Normally I would get my tax bill next week, and usually what happens is it shows up on the website, and then a couple days later I get it in the mail. This year it showed up a week and a day ago. It was here already in the mail, and I had been looking online and didn't see it. I guess I stopped looking after it arrived, so I don't know when it showed up there, but they actually have already cashed my check. It cleared the bank today, which is shocking. Not that I should be happy that they're taking all that money, but at least they seem to have their act together, which is good, I guess. And with that, we'll go to Dave, WB9BWP from KC9UDX.
Okay. That's definitely someone that doesn't have their act together. 10-meter contest was this weekend. I did like 3 hours Saturday, 3 hours Sunday. I never get up very early. So as a result of something like 10 meters, I missed the opening to the east. By the time I get on the radio, things are south and heading west. Carol, I don't know why you couldn't hear. California, I work the most. I forget what I have. I've got like 15 or 18 California contacts. And I was actually surprised that I got 2 Australia late in the afternoon, about 4 o'clock or so, in the afternoon on Sunday. But yes, propagation was not like really hot or anything. It was okay, but I have almost nothing out of the Caribbean. And usually I have about 20 or more islands down there on any contest. Anyway, Saturday is an MRAC meeting, 10 o'clock, HRO. Program is show and tell again, which I guess means they couldn't find anything else since they already did show and tell earlier in the year. Tonight, if you're up at 1 o'clock, meteor shower. It's supposed to be clear outside. Or on the radio, get on the radio and work some meteor scatter. But Gemini's meteor shower peaks, I guess, 1 to 4, something like that. Tonight, tomorrow morning, however you wish to say it. What else here? Yes, last real Christmas tree that I had was, I don't know, I was probably about 6 or something. And our current tree is a 3-footer on a table in the family room with little LED lights. My wife used to have thousands of lights on trees that we would do. But she stopped that a few years ago. Stand by just a moment. And anyway, now we have a tree with built-in very tiny LEDs that flicker. Not flicker, but they're kind of an on and off thing. Leaking batteries. I have a problem with flashlights and batteries that leak. My wife used to work at Harley, and I had an abundance of Harley flashlights. And whatever batteries they used in them, almost all of them leaked very quickly. And got done, so I had to go in and clean them up. Hopefully nobody on the net here bought any of them because I hand-crafted them a couple of years ago. But I've also had the problem with a couple of really nice, believe it or not, Harbor-Freight flashlights, but they have really rotten batteries. And all of those eventually crusted up. So I don't have good luck with batteries and flashlights. That's, I guess, been the only real problem. No, the Radiotech frequency counter, handheld frequency counter. I gotta go in and clean that up too, because I hadn't used that in a while, and sure enough, I got nasty in there too. Maybe that's what the scientists have to work on. How to make a battery that doesn't grow things. Anyway, that's more than enough here. So this is the DG.
All right, thank you, Dave. And yeah, I think they've got batteries now that don't leak, but they do worse things. I've got all kinds of puffed up batteries around here. Batteries that break things when they puff up. It's very annoying. I've got several very expensive devices around here that no longer work simply because the battery puffed up. And I guess that's my fault. You know, it's just like any other battery. You should replace it every couple of years in any case. And otherwise that stuff happens. I have a plethora of flashlights that I guess some of them have had that problem, some of them haven't. I don't exactly know why. I've got some mag lights that I never had a problem with, and then other ones that I did really bad. But these days, the problem I've got with flashlights is none of them work. They all have LEDs, and the LEDs don't draw enough current to keep the switch contacts or the battery contacts clean. So they just never want to work. You got to beat on them to get them to light up, and then they flicker and die. And I don't know. I have no use for LED flashlights. They drive me up a wall. Yes, tonight and tomorrow night is the Geminids. Tomorrow night is the peak. And actually, the weather forecast, which is probably wrong, says that the sky should be even clearer tomorrow night. So I would say don't wait till tomorrow night if you're going to look for that, because the weather forecast is always wrong. Otherwise, tomorrow night would be the better night. And I did think, too, that was kind of odd that they're doing show and tell this month. It seems like not that long ago we did that. I did take this Gonstead radio, show it off. I don't know, maybe that was a long time ago now. Maybe that was in April, March, something like that. I don't think I'll be bringing anything this time. I sort of thought about bringing my laptop computer, the Pinebook Pro. But the more I hear people talk, I just don't think that will interest anybody. And nobody in ham radio really wants to run Linux unless they've got a Raspberry Pi running one application and then not using it for anything else. So unless it's a Windows laptop, probably nobody really cares. So I decided I'll probably just not bring that. I may bring it anyway, but I'll probably just not show it off. I don't know. And next we'll go to Steve and 9FSE from KC9UDX.
Thank you, Matt. And 9FSE in the net. And it seems to be something that everybody gets to experience, is the corroded battery business. And I usually would like to buy stuff locally, but I think one of the more leaky batteries are the guys out of Madison, the Rayovac, but there's plenty of cheap Chinese ones that leak just as good, I'm sure. And for a while I was really happy with the Aldi brand, but even those got expensive. And last time I ordered some what are marketed as Delco from Amazon, so I'm working my way through those. Not too expensive, and really not as good as the bigger alkalines, but they do the job usually. Found a solution once. Somebody said acid, so I used just vinegar. I cleaned some contacts and then flushed it suitably afterwards, and that was pretty good for the most part. in a remote once. But, I don't know if I used Q-tips or what, I forget, but that worked out. At that time, a few months back. And, growing up, we always had the natural Christmas trees out here at the site here, surrounded by Christmas trees. They're overgrown. So they're pretty large. And since then, for years and years, I haven't had much other than usually one with lights on I pull out of a bag and turn on if I get be ambitious enough. Otherwise, it's just a wreath on the door and a couple other little decorations. That's plenty. The 10-meter contest didn't do anything with that because I didn't have a good antenna up, and I did scan the band a little bit and was amazed with some good traffic to be seen and various modes. And, that's pretty neat. Even didn't hear any contesters, but even 29.6 popped in from time to time. So I think there was some decent opening for the most part. And been using the Kiwi to look at other stuff for the most part, like running the extensions on that, let it run some SSTV, and then see what's come through after a while. So like doing that. That's my kind of fun. Is tuning around more than talking on HM. I should get some stuff going. And I got other friends that have been working on LOGG antennas, loop on ground. GMT's been playing with that a little bit, and all these other ones. But it's all a matter of time to play with all that stuff and set that stuff up too. I got plenty of vehicle projects I should be attending to, and ski projects. No snow at Fox Hill yet, but Switz we had one weekend, and then last weekend wasn't doing. It was just too much rain in the forecast, so they skipped running last weekend. Hope the radio's still hanging in here. I swing my head that way and look at that. Looking forward to this weekend. Right now Switz is closed. They've been cranking the snow since last night when it got cold, and I think I don't know if they're still going at it or not, but they'll reopen again tomorrow and such. See what's going on. I heard it looked like a snowstorm when KC9 LFR drove by there. And do I have to get a shower cap for the meteor shower tonight? I don't know. I'll have to remember to look to the skies though here and there. Maybe I catch an early one or two as I leave the site here. It's a good day out here. I didn't have to get any mice out of the traps, and smells good that way in here today. So there's my report from here. And I guess it's like Frank, I missed last month as well. Just didn't have the radio with me. Today at least I put the radio in the headphones where I could grab them and didn't forget them. And also was fully inspired to come on out and make things happen and put the announcement at least on the website, so happy to do that. Wonder if we'll get any other takers out here when I turn it back to you, Matt. See if maybe Gary will show up or anybody else. I haven't heard Jerry. I don't know when the last time we heard Jerry on the net. So good stuff there. Trying to think if there's any other game activities. Not much shaping up. I guess there is Wheaton coming up. So that's coming up in January. And then there's a LaPorte, Indiana Swap Fest in February. And then plenty of scuttlebutt for Jefferson, but I didn't see any flyers for them on their website. Just a lot of rumors. They're good at doing that, but these guys got to come up with a flyer and put it on the site so people know they're for real. So I'm going to, before I bore myself here and such, I'll turn it back to you, Matt, and see where we're at. KC9 UDX and the assembled Hardy crew here on the 2 a.m. This is N9FSE. Over.
All right, thank you, Steve. And I don't know what you've done, but your signal is up a little bit, noticeably, and your audio is by far by far the best it's ever been. I mean, it's amazingly better than ever before. So I don't know what you did, but it's working. Keep it up. And excuse me. I plan to check out Lapham this weekend. We'll see. I wanted to go last weekend. I should have. I know they're making snow. You know, this time of year, nobody reports on it. They got an official website where you're supposed to report that, so you don't have to drive out there to see what it's like. But this time of year, nobody reports it, so I don't know what it's actually like there without going. So I probably will do that this weekend. I would assume that the full man-made loop is probably in pretty decent shape. I do have to buy stickers and trail passes and everything. I did something really stupid. Excuse me. Last year, every year I buy enough stickers for for all the vehicles I plan on taking, and I buy trail passes. And I forgot to put a sticker on one vehicle, and we took that to the Scuppernong trails over here, and I did not have a sticker, which was really ridiculous because the sticker was sitting at home waiting to go on the car. So now I stuck that on there just in time to go get a new one and stick that on. And I stuck it on in haste, so I did not put oil underneath it. I like to always, you know, this is specifically not what you're supposed to do, but I like to oil the windshield before I put the sticker on. That makes it possible to remove the sticker in a very clean way the following year, where otherwise that's, to me, totally impossible. And I should say, you know, I did see a pretty good earth grazer last night on my drive to work. About, what was it, about 3 in the morning. But I don't think it was coming from the right direction to be a Geminid. And I just barely caught it. I didn't get to, you know, I was driving, so I didn't spot it until it was too late. You know, not that I really missed it, but I guess I wasn't prepared to really pay attention. I did not save the dash cam video last night, but that probably doesn't show up on there anyway. And with that, we're at the bottom of the list. Do we have any more check-ins for the 2 a.m. net? Come now, please.
This is Cool Sierra, Niner, Quebec.
All right, got one more. Recognizing and welcoming Jim KS9Q. Welcome to the net. Do we have anybody else? Oh, I hear somebody else in there. Steve, maybe you can help me out.
Yeah, that's Dale, 89DW. He's way down there, but I do hear him.
All right. Well, Dale, I don't know if you can hear me. I will put you on the list here, AB9DW. Welcome to the net. And then, Steve, I'll probably have to send it to you to send it to Dale when we get to that. Because I can tell he's transmitting, but I can't hear him at all. He's very, very low in the weeds. Which is probably just due to conditions. Of course, I can try tuning in my radio a little better, too. But first, we'll go to Jim, KS9Q from KC9UDX.
Okay, very good. KC9UDX and the net. This is KS9Q. Matt, your radio is sounding spectacular tonight. Very nice audio, very strong signal, full quieting. Thumbs up. And it's been an interesting couple of weeks around here. We write a few disease. So I was in the hospital for about 3 or 4 days, and came back, was pretty compromised for a little bit, and I'm back at work now and kind of pretty much resuming normal activity, but not my idea of a good time, and certainly glad that they were able to identify and catch it in time, because it could have gotten very serious very fast. And even so, I'm still kind of just shaking off the effects of it. But as we speak here, I am also just testing my HW16, which I picked up at a Hamfest. Redid the power supply on it, and it is looking like, at least initial testing is looking pretty promising. So I'm going to bring the Verilak up a little bit more and just see if we can keep it running without any loud bangs. And so far so good. So we're going to go back to that. This is KS9Q.
All right, thank you, Jim, and thank you for the report. I have not done anything to this radio. I'd say the only thing I may be doing different tonight is talking a little louder, just because I sometimes forget how insensitive this microphone is. If I talk real close and real loud, I get pretty good modulation. If I back off it very much at all, I lose it a lot. So maybe that's doing better than I thought. So thank you. And sorry to hear about you catching Legionnaire's disease. I do not know anything about that other than I've heard of it. But I'm glad you're doing better. I've got a coworker who got Lyme disease earlier in the year, and he found a deer tick underneath his skin over the weekend. So I don't know what's going on with him. Another coworker, he's my boss, actually. I was, excuse me. What he's telling us is that he had a problem with his gallbladder, so he had that removed. He was out for a while. But when he came back, he told us that when they had him apart, they said that his liver was very fatty. So he told me that he's going to cut back on eating fat, and I said, I'm pretty sure that has nothing to do with it. You should probably quit drinking. And he did not seem to understand what I was talking about at all. So, I don't know. I hope he figures that one out. And, well, I was going to say something else here. No, I forgot. Excuse me. And I'm going to turn it over to Steve, N9FSE, so he can relay to Dale, AB9DW, and I'll see if I can tune in a little bit better to see if I can hear Dale. So, Steve, if you want to take it away, this is KC9UDX.
All right. Thank you, Matt, and Dale, heads up. We're going to turn it over to you. You can let us know. I'll get your signal level, and I got to go through everybody else's. I measured everybody's super strong here, except for you tonight. We'll get your level written down. Everybody is at least 30 over. Well, everybody's at least 20 over at this location here, but I got the stick way up the tower. I appropriate the high point here to take it over for an hour a month. And let us know who you hear, and if it's your first time on the 2 a.m., I have a feeling it isn't, but we'll see what you got to say. Dale, AB9DW, that is yours from N9FSE. Over.
got about 20 watts. I got him at S7 here. As we get past the rock, he's unfortunately suffering from week 2 of the COVID and hopefully getting a lot better. Also mentioned Dale that she got a little warble on the signal, so I don't know, maybe like me, I got to throttle back the audio. They say that helped me immensely. I went from, I don't know if I had a 5 or something dumb like 5, kept lowering it last 2 months ago when I was out. It got me dialed in where I got down to mic level 1, which helped my situation out. Now the other thing, Matt, I think is leaves are out of the trees, and I'm hearing everybody pretty big. So he mentioned he can hear you, not real strong, but he hears you. And he mentioned Carol, although he didn't recall if he heard. Says Frank is big signal, and so I got Frank huge here as well at 60 over. Usually, if I can't attend to that, the only guy I usually hear is Dave. I didn't mention anything about Dave, but Dave's pretty good. And also mentioned Jim. So I think maybe if you can hear what he's saying, Matt, maybe you can just run it through next time and see if he's got anything to add. Back to that at 9FSE.
All right, thank you, Steve, and thank you, Dale. I'm pretty sure, now I can't look it up here, I don't have a log recent enough to have, or not recent enough, but old enough to have Dale on it to know what his signal strength was like in the past, but I think his signal is stronger than it used to be. Significantly stronger, but the noise floor is pretty high tonight. I think that's part of it, and I think you hit on the other part I was going to mention. Even though I can't make out what he's saying, I think he might be overdriving a little bit. I can tell that the modulation is very, very high, and maybe a little bit too much. But again, I'm probably a bad judge of that because I can't hear very well. And with that, we are at the bottom of the list. I should say, and Dale, I don't know if you can hear me, that you're a 3 out of 10. And Steve is the only other station I have noted at 8.5 out of 10. I normally keep the meter on receive. I have to switch back and forth manually. There's no automatic switching on that. And I keep it on transmit since the radio has been misbehaving. But we are at the bottom of the list. Let's see if we have any more check-ins for the 2 a.m. net. Come now, please. All right, hearing none, I'll take this opportunity to tell a story. So a couple months ago, maybe last month, I don't know when, I replaced the rear main seal on my wife's car, and the oil pan gasket, of course, because you have to do that to replace the rear main seal. And when I had the oil pan off, I looked up inside and I noticed that the timing chain was very slack, which it should not be on that engine. That engine has a tensioner for the timing chain. So I know it's not supposed to be that way, and I did not have time anymore this time of year to take on that job. So I had my wife take it to a shop to have them do it. They were supposed to change the timing chain, change the valve cover gasket, and do a chassis lube. And we dropped off the vehicle on Monday. They called her up on Wednesday and told her they would not change the timing chain because they don't hear anything wrong with it. They apparently need to hear metal on metal noise before they change the timing chain, which to me is a very bad thing because at that point it's rubbing a hole in the timing cover. I know that from experience on those motors. And then Friday comes around and my wife calls them up and says, "Have you done the valve cover gasket?" Or no, she said, "Is the vehicle ready to pick up?" And they said, "Yeah, it's been sitting here since Wednesday waiting for you." And then she said, well, did you do the valve cover gasket? And they said, we're not going to do that because it's just seeping. It's not really leaking. You just pressure wash it and that's good enough. Well, I know for a fact this thing is leaking pretty significantly. And it's leaking to the point where if you pressure wash it, you'd almost certainly have water in the crankcase, which is really, really bad. So I can't believe they even said that. And then she said, well, did you do the chassis lube? And they said, well, we don't have any notes about that. So we had the car, they had the car for a week, and they did absolutely nothing. So I guess I'll be doing all that myself anyway. And with that, we'll go to the top of the list. Carol N9CXK from KC9UDX.
KC9UDX and the rest of you N9CXK. Well, good. Lots of topics covered there. Yeah, I was aware of the meteor shower tonight. I'm planning my outfit to go out there a little bit later, see if I could see something. It would be nice. I have the lake out in front of me here, so hopefully I can see something in that patch of sky. I was thinking, oh, it'd be nice I can go out and stand on the dock. No, the dock is up on the shore. I can't do that. And, no, Frank, Dave, the 10-meter contest, I did listen. I worked a bunch of 6 stations, yeah, because they did come in really nice at the end of the day, but I was saying that I didn't hear the usual bunch of pile-ups and screaming and shouting and all that, so maybe it was just a reserved, nice contest anyway. What else are we talking about? Sounds like no snow until, well, probably well after Christmas even. It doesn't sound like much is going to happen at all here. The ground is frozen right now, but it's probably only an inch or 2, 3, something like that. So I don't know. I got one more antenna up here before the things got cold. I have a tiny little Radio Shack ground plane that they used to sell for police scanners. And I put that up on the vent pipe out here right in front of the shack. One more antenna to listen to the radio on. I think I'm mostly going to use that for aircraft. Kind of just a little ground plane with droopy radials on it, and that should be perfect for aircraft. Steve, yes, your radio sounds like $1 million. Since, I don't know when that was, maybe a month or 2 ago, we said to turn down the audio a little. Oh my gosh. It's just like, you sound just like yourself. Like you're sitting next to us and nothing crazy is going on. It sounds really good. And yeah, you're always very strong out here. I was going to try a different ground plane that I got up higher on the roof, or vertical, but I haven't gotten to that yet. Maybe I'll switch coax while somebody's talking here. And I think that kind of covers things for right now. What else am I going to talk about? Is that the other thing? I don't know. Probably not that important. N9CXK, over.
All right, thank you, Carol. I've got a Radio Shack disc cone. Normally, and it may still be set up this way, normally I've got an antenna switch that I can switch in this radio to that antenna. I'd have to investigate that before I go and flip that switch, though, because it's been so long since I did that, I have no idea if it's still set up that way. But the only reason I normally would do that is because the amplifier, which I see is turned on, is on that antenna. So even if I can switch over, I probably don't want to do that. I have to detune the output on this radio before I can use that amplifier. Which I guess now is not such a big deal. It'll detune itself if I'm not careful. And you made me think of something when you mentioned that. That Radio Shack antenna. Dave mentioned the Radio Shack frequency counter. And I have one of those directly in front of me. And I guess that's a good time for me to open up that battery compartment and check it out. But I don't have a screwdriver handy. I'll have to do that after the net. And with that, we'll go to Frank, W9JCC from KC9UDX.
KC9UDX, W9JCC. I'm on the phone, Matt. I'm going to have to skip this round, and I'll turn it back to you, W9JCC.
Okay, thank you, Frank. We'll come back to you. And in that case, next we'll go to Dave, WB9BWP from KC9UDX.
Okay. Good evening to Jim and Dale. Yes, Dale is very weak even over here. And yes, the little kind of warbly sound almost. And while I didn't have anything like COVID or Legionnaires, my wife and I both over Thanksgiving major sore throat cold, not quite flu kind of things. I haven't had for years. I used to get that like once a year. I don't know, it's at least 5 years I think since I had it last. But yeah, she started, and then 24 hours later it was my turn. I did have a hospital stint earlier in the year, but that's okay, we don't get into that. What else? Oh, you mentioned about the pumping up batteries. I had a phone do that a couple of years ago. I went out to a local ham gathering, threw it in the pocket of my jacket. Got home, I did not take it out of the pocket. Over there, I got home, I'm trying to take it out, and it's like it won't come out of the pocket. What's going on? And when I finally got it out, I'm like, oh, look at that. It seems to be about 3 times thicker than it used to be. So, yeah, that was the battery. And, of course, it was just out of warranty at that time. That's all that stuff was. And you were talking about, like, insurance rates, starting low and going up. Everybody's doing that now, not just insurance. I go through a separate company from my internet service that gives me web hosting and email and all of that stuff. But I started up with them, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, somewhere in there. It was $5 a month. Now, they have been bought and sold at least once, maybe twice. But just recently, I got an email that said, oh, your rate's going to $20 a month now. Like, what? Okay. That's the world we've got today. No, stand by just a moment. Not quite. Yeah, I just haven't gone in to change the timer on the radio because I use the same radio for some FM nets and stuff. So I just try to watch for the 3 minutes, which means I've talked a whole bunch. Oh, signal-wise, everybody seems really strong tonight, and maybe it is. The leaves are gone, but everybody except for Dale. Sorry, Dale. And Steve, yes, you got the radio adjusted just right. At least it's not, tearing my speaker apart here. Anyway, with that, this is WB9BWP.
All right, thank you, Dave. And yeah, on the subject of prices rising like that, Time Warner, who I use for internet, has always been that way. They're always raising the price, and then if you leave and come back, they start out low and then raise it up again. But just the past couple of years, they're getting really out of hand with their raises every year. And if they raise it one more time, which they probably will soon, it's going to be more than double what it was for the same service when I first started getting it here, which is kind of disgusting. Their costs have to be going down. There's no way their costs are going up. I don't think. I could be wrong, I guess, but and yeah, there's something more though with Steve's audio. I mean, that it's always, you know, the audio was good last time, but not like this. This is even better. So I'll send it to you, Steve, and then if you want to send it to Dale right away after your turn, I think that'll go smoother. N9FSE from KC9UDX.
All right. And I've been paying close attention to the insurance situation because I had another car and just figure it's like, yeah, you gotta pay this one, pay that one, cut a check here, whatever. But the taxes, I'll keep an eye on that one. It's about time for me too to see how that goes. And I should also mention, speaking of taxes and city stuff, it's like there's all this news items lately with the city of Milwaukee and picking up the Christmas trees. It ties into the Christmas tree topic too here. And I sat back and it's like, well, it makes, you know, they had pretty, it seemed like decent logic that the DPW was using. It's like, you know, state says we can't do this. It's like, they probably figured, well, if somebody could pick up a tree, they could return it, but it's like, well, it just isn't going to fly in most municipalities anyway, especially if there's something that used to be done one way and all that. It's like, well, you're going to be in trouble if you don't pick them up. It's kind of like in Chicago, they had, it was Mayor Byrne or somebody else, or Washington or somebody lost their mayorship because they couldn't keep the DPW to keep the snow cleaned up after a pretty good several series of storms in Chicago. So it's like you just gotta you gotta make sure you show up for some of this stuff as city employees and the people that manage them. So quite humorous there. And thanks for all the great reports on the audio. Pleased I could have things dialed in. I haven't touched anything since 2 weeks ago. I rewrote down my mic gain level, so I got it here in case I fiddle with it. Hopefully I don't. and we heard Jim was right after me, so it's like we heard about his Legionnaires, and hopefully he'd still be getting stronger from when we heard him last on 38. That's behind him, and hopefully Dale can get through his fun with the get past that stuff. These rotten things are no fun, and hopefully everybody stays well through the holidays. And hope I stay well through the holidays. Got a little air flight for some of that, as well as going to busy places like several ski hills planned here, so we'll have to keep up on the vitamin C at least and stay healthy. Keep everything in normal stead here and get stuff done here. Yeah, let's see here. Frank mentioned something the first time around about a 40-meter net. I don't know if that's the noontime forum or something, but I'm overdoing listening into that. Been having fun here and there, tuning in other Kiwis than my own at home, so it's sometimes fun to tune those in. It's always nice to run the Kiwi because somebody mentioned that SDR2. It's got most often it's got all these extensions baked right in, so you can decode fax or slow scan or FT8 or Whisper or all that stuff's baked right into that package. And all the AM guys seem to love it too. They got some great synchronous AM options. And DRM, digital radium on dial. I have to keep searching for signals. There's not a lot of them out there, unfortunately, and I still want to hear somebody do do some AM. Last couple times I tried to decode, it was just not enough signal. It looked like a good water bubble. Not a good enough signal to decode fully, so yeah, interesting stuff. Keep playing with it as time goes there on that. Let's see if I got anything else to comment on. There's probably plenty. We've covered a lot of ground here tonight, so that's pretty good. Yeah. Well, just looking over the notes here too, Lapham Park stickers. That reminds me, I paid for Waukesha County Parks because my brother was going to be camping in the parks a lot when he was in town. And he was just there a few days, so I only visited him in the park once and usually hung out by my niece. But I had both of my vehicles at the time set up for stickers, or so I thought. And I entered one digit wrong on the plate, of course, that I took into the park. So they sent me a nasty draft saying, "Hey, you didn't pay your stuff." I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute, hey, I gave you the wrong number," and they were able to wash that away nice, which is good because I think that's the only time I visited the park, and it cost me a fair bit to cover both vehicles and all that. Probably should make my way into Waukesha Parks before the end of the year here, just so I could say I used it a little more. So that's what I have. See how we're at with everything here, and running out of topic, I guess. So it's good that I got stuff figured out here. Still want to find a smaller power cord for this and leave it permanently attached on the power supply out here, and that'll speed my setup. But I was out here early enough this round here tonight. So thanks for the good reports again. I'll send it back up to Matt, and maybe he'll send it back to me to see how see if Dale's still in there after Jim or something. But we'll go through the normal order, I trust. Matt, M-I-N-F-S-E. Over.
All right, thank you, Steve. And since you turned it back to me, we'll just keep going in the right order. I guess one thing I forgot to mention before about the taxes. Another thing that I shouldn't be, too excited about, because I just don't believe I should be paying as much taxes as I do anyway. But my taxes here I don't think they've ever gone up. They've always gone down, and this year again they have gone down. That's one nice thing about living here. I know for a fact if they did ever go up, right now they're still lower than they were when I bought this place 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago. It doesn't go down a whole lot normally, but it does pretty much always go down, and it, like I say, it did again this year. I think part of the part of the difference in your audio, Steve, is something in the background. There's some kind of fan or some kind of equipment that we can normally hear as louder than you sometimes, and tonight I'm not hearing it so much. I think that's got something to do with what's different tonight. And I'll tell you what, those those Waukesha non-stickers are a serious rip-off. It really irritates me the way they raised the price for the Waukesha County Park entrance fee. It's absurd. Especially, the number of people going there has gone up significantly, and I really wish they would charge the dog park people more. They really are the ones that are driving up the price, not the rest of us. And I absolutely hate having to buy those, but I'll excuse me, I'll probably do that again this year. Well, we may have to just do another round here just because I can't talk so much anymore. And there is one nice thing about them going stickerless, is that I have multiple cars with the same license plate for reasons we're all aware of, and so I don't have to buy as many stickers anymore. So I shouldn't complain too much. And with that, we'll go to Jim, KS9Q from KC9UDX.
KC9UDX on the net. This is KS9Q. Okay, well, since the last round, I did an initial test on the HW16, and I was able to pick up a signal or two. I haven't aligned it or anything, but we basically replaced the power supply capacitors and did some rewiring that was necessary, and took a little bit of time to get it done. But and I need to take it to work, give it a proper alignment. But I think we'll once I drop carrier here, I'm going to turn the barrel back up and just tune around a little bit and see what we can get. I don't even have, this thing does 80, 40, and 15, and I only have antennas that cover 15, but if I can get enough of a 40 meter, if there's enough activity on 40 meters, enough CW, I should be able to tune around and at least get something there. So we shall see. Got that. Got this project. Have a Collins 30L1 amplifier that just started taking apart, which is definitely going to need some work. And still working on my TS700A. I haven't finished that yet. We'll get to that hopefully soon, and hopefully we'll come onto the net with that next time around. So with that, we'll turn it back to net. This is KS9Q.
All right, thank you, Jim. And fine business. That I don't know too much about the HW16, but I'm guessing it'll probably work pretty good. And of course, if you do an alignment, it'll work a little bit better. And I should also tell you, I did look at your signal. You're up to 9.5 out of 10, where normally I think you're like 7.5 or 8. I don't have a log with you on it handy, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Oh, I take that back. I found one, and you're a 9 on that one, so maybe a little better. And with that, Steve, if you want to pass it on to Dale, N9FSE from KC9UDX.
Very good. You kind of now, but it's your turn, and we'll relay what you got. Hopefully you were able to hear some of our characters, and you can let us know how they did. Comments regarding such. Dale, 89DW, NIFSE. Thanks for checking in with us. And Dale mentions that he turned on the audio, and then it sounded really soft to me. And I put up the audio up, but right before the end, it popped a little higher again. It sounded fairly good, at least as he had been at the beginning. He said he could hear Carol and Dave are, of course, all right, and Jim just a bit, and not much more, he says there, so, and not much more traffic on all that. Warble seems a bit better, so maybe that helped a little bit, but it's going to keep, it's like me, you could probably stand a station monitor, keep an eye on the station, see what's going on there. And while I probably should mention where everybody else stood, I never got around to that. Matt, we got you at, without any preamp at 40 over. All these are without preamp. Carol at 20 over. Frank at 60 over. The big signal here. Dave at 30 over. Jim at 30 over. And then Dale once again at S7. Let's turn it back up to Matt. Matt, MISSE.
All right. Thank you, Steve. And thank you, Dale, too, if you can hear me. Probably not. But I did notice, just watching on the meter, his signal looks cleaner this time. But I could hear him even less. Not that I could make out what he was saying before anyway. But audio does seem a little more reasonable, but still uncopyable, unfortunately. I guess I gotta keep thinking about more and more about getting a beam that I can switch in, just for cases like that. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea just to have a beam pointed, permanently in that direction. We are at the bottom of the list, and we're not going to go too much longer here, but I will check one more time just in case there's anybody that wants to check in here at the last minute, because we have had that happen before. So if anybody still wants to check into the 2 a.m. net, come now, please. Thank you, Steve. And I think it's always been this way, where Dale can always hear me better than I can hear him. And I attribute that fully to my receiver. The bandwidth is too wide. And that's one of those projects that I may never get around to, but I've been meaning to do this for as long as we've been doing this net. I have a Q multiplier which should solve that problem. I just don't know if I'll ever get around to doing that. If I do, I'm going to have to probably do some serious testing on the backup rig, because I would probably end up taking this one offline for a while to getting that to work. Anyway, we are going kind of late here, and I'm running out of ability to speak, so we're going to do the 7-3 round. We'll go back to the top of the list. By no means am I trying to rush anybody. If you want to talk, go ahead and talk. We're not that bad on time. So we'll go back to the top, and Carol, M9CXK, it's your turn on the 7-3 round.
Okay. KC9UDX and the net, N9CXK. Well, I'm very gratified by the reports that people are hearing me so well. This radio says that I am running about 20 watts here. That's all it'll do, which is fine. And I think that everyone on the net, with the exception of Dale, is S9 or better. and everybody's audio was great. Now, when Dale was talking, I tuned back and forth. I could tell there was a carrier there. I didn't hear any audio at all. So I think that might be part of the problem, is that his audio, well, to me, I didn't hear any audio, so I'm thinking that his audio isn't very full. But I don't know for sure. The batteries, the alkaline batteries, well, at work, we buy batteries by probably the tens of thousands, 10-light batteries and AAAs and 9 volts and all that. And boy, I think they rot in your devices even faster than consumer batteries. We have these commercial ever-ready batteries. They are always rotting in things, all kinds of stuff. And I don't think that they have tried to seal those as well as they do with the consumer batteries. I'm not sure. They look very similar, but it says commercial batteries and not responsible for this and that and the other thing. So I don't think they last very well either. Probably make them by the billions and just don't add all the features that might keep them intact for a while. And the Christmas trees, I almost fell on the floor when I heard him say that. I said, that's the most hysterical thing I ever heard. They're not going to pick up the Christmas trees. And people are supposed to take that Christmas tree that is literally exploding with needles. It's dry and crunchy and scratchy, and all the needles are falling off, and they're going to put that in their car and take it to the ward yard. I said, there's not a chance in hell that anybody's going to do that. And they even showed the city guys taking all the trees and running them through the chipper. You know, it didn't appear as though they were just taking the trees to the landfill. They were running them through the chipper, and people will take all of that material. If it's chipped up, they'll take it. It might disappear in a couple of months, but they'll take it and use it. I don't think that the city was taking those trees whole to the dump. Maybe they were. But then they said, well, they're not Christmas decorations. They're landscape materials. I said, what do you mean? A Christmas tree isn't a Christmas decoration? That's the only reason people are buying them, is that they're Christmas decorations. So I just shook my head. And the guy from the DNR says, well, yeah, we decided on this back in the middle of summer, but we didn't say anything till now. And that's on me. What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. I really got a kick out of that. So now the city, all the people with sense said, no, we got to pick up these trees. Otherwise, either the DPW picks them up now in an orderly fashion, or they'll be picking them up for the entire year from empty lots and ditches and culverts and, everywhere. They would just be thrown everywhere. So the aldermen were smart and deemed that the DPW is going to pick them up. And taxes, we don't need to talk about taxes. I think maybe my taxes went down a shade.
Matt, I've got a scoop at WNJCC.
My taxes here are just like having a mortgage again because of where I am. So I don't ever dream about having taxes that are in any means low. They'll always be high. So I just gotta make sure I budget for that. Everybody have a really wonderful rest of the week. I'm just thrilled to be on the net with all you guys on AM. It's just wonderful. Very nice, and glad to hear everyone. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. 73 and 9 CXK.
All right, thank you, Carol. I will say 7-3 to you, and also to Frank, who popped in. 7-3, Frank, thanks for being here. Thank you, too, Carol, for being here. I will burn my tree, as always. I hate to say it, but I don't know what city people do anyway. It wouldn't bother me if I had to burn more Christmas trees. In fact, one year it really bothered my wife when the neighbor kid stole my tree to burn it at his place. Anyway, my taxes were one of the reasons I wanted to live here when I bought this place 20 years ago. When you compare all of the areas around here, you know, the town, or now the village of Waukesha, historically has always had the lowest taxes for what you get. And I would assume it's still that way, seems how it hasn't gone up. And I would expect that not every place is going down continually like this. And it's actually surprising that it keeps going down, seems how the city was always annexing stuff, although that's come to a screeching halt. Better late than never, I guess, but still, it should have happened a long, long time ago. And with that, we'll go to Dave, WB9 BWP. It's your turn on the 7-3 round from KC9UDX.
Okay. 73 to everybody that has left already. I don't know if that's just Frank or not. Everybody else that's here. Well, the whole Christmas tree thing I thought was interesting. Is like, this is the major news story for the last week. Is, you know, are the Christmas trees going to be picked up? And I thought, you know, if you're going to put anything in a landfill, at least trees and leaves and stuff, that's organic material. That's going to decompose. Isn't that better than tires and whatnot? Just kind of that shows up. Oh well. Yeah, and the guy that said, yeah, we just didn't tell anybody. Yeah, and like, the first thing I think of is, how much is that guy get paid? Can I have this job? Anyway, I'm looking at my list here. I guess it covered everything. So, good net tonight. Even bigger numbers. I forget what we had in the Mosey net last night. It started out at 7. It might have creeped up to 8 or 9, but that's as there were almost no students on it this week. And I always announce it over there. Nobody's ever come over here. But, hey, you know, you can only do so much. So, I'll say 73 once again to everybody that's got a radio that hears any of this. And I guess as far as this net is concerned, you can say, you know, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Because we won't be here until all that stuff is passed. So, this is WB9 BWP.
All right, thank you, Dave. Let's say 7-3 to you, and yeah, we've had decent turnout tonight. Sure can't complain. Not the best we've had, but the best we've had for a while. We had 8 in July. I think the only difference there is Lorelei, who did not want to participate. So maybe, yeah, we're doing pretty good. And we did cover a lot of stuff tonight. So with that, we'll go next to Steve at 9FSE. It's your turn on the 7-3 round.
All right. In case Carol or Frank just may be listening, yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to them. And Dave too. And actually, make it really hold out here. The only thing that other ham event that's sort of coming up that we didn't discuss is Winter Field Day. There's been a few groups kicking it around. Maybe something down in Ottawa Lake with Tom Berger, and maybe up Ozaki or Leapfrog. I think it might be Leapfrog guys up at Upper Lake Park in Ozaki and Port Washington. They're planning on going out too. That's the only ones I've heard of. I should do something at a ski hill, but it's like they're gonna plan this stuff out a little better, a little longer, and play with some stuff there. One ski hill, well, actually two ski hills. Actually more than two ski hills are right on the Ice Age trail, so you can pull it as well, but see what all happens there. Matt, your boss with the gallbladder, and found out he's got fatty liver. I think a lot of people would find they haven't been diagnosed. They could find out there, especially if they drink like Wisconsinites or just eat the standard American diet. So something there. Sounds like you could use maybe some elderberry or something, but I'm sure you know what you got. Used to that. Hopefully it isn't like a chronic bronchitis or something, but best of luck on all that. And what else I check out here? Zenith, I got my Zenith Transoceanic at home, and I check the batteries, make sure they're not getting crunchy in there. I'd hate to have some leakage on that thing, and I always think about that, and I never check it too often. But I think I checked it in the last year, and it wasn't too bad. Lots of D cells, and that thing pretty heavy. And Jim's got an HW16. I think I've got a 17 that I've gotten from John Peterman that I haven't done anything with, but that'd be fun to play with too on some of these frequencies on AM. So sooner or later I'll have to get to that project. But all kinds of other projects before we even get around to that one there. And that's all I got on my 73 round, and I break everything here down and set everything back normal, and look forward to hopefully having the impetus to do this again on time again next month. And just the last thing I'll finish off with is, with it being cold out, we don't need to call for outdoor air, so the fan that's usually over my right shoulder has been quiet the whole time here, so that's some of my noise during any month but winter months apparently. So maybe I gotta figure out a different way to set up, or set up on the end of the table more, and maybe I'd pick up less of the fan noise. Still probably plenty in here, but be something I can still. I'm running headphones right now, and I still hear some of the other equipment fans running, but at least it's not this big intake fan that really makes a racket. And in fall months and spring months it'll cycle, so it probably is usually on when I'm trying to talk. With that, back up to Matt. This is M9FSC standing by at 73, everyone.
All right, thank you, Steve. And that's got to be it. And like you say, I must just always turn on normally, because I don't recall ever not hearing it. And you mentioned the Transoceanic. I have 3 of them. I don't remember the model number on them. They're fairly old. Is it H500 is the model number? I don't remember anymore. I don't remember why I have 3. I know why I have 2 of them. I don't know where the other one, how that came to be. I might have bought it at a Hamfest and just couldn't pass it up or something. But the one of them I had given to my father-in-law, and he passed away last year, so I got that back. So it occurred to me last Saturday I should fire that thing up and try to tune in Polka Parade. And I got distracted trying to find noise sources in the house that are preventing me from listening to AM radio in the house. I'm finally starting to crack down on that. And I'll tell you, I've been starting to call what my ailment is COVID-79. only because that is the first year that I can actually say with certainty that I remember it. Otherwise, I get this every year, with the exception of 2020 and 2021. And I'm not exactly sure why that is. One of my coworkers insists that it's due to social distancing, or as I call it, socialist dancing, staying 6 feet apart and not moving. But I don't think so, because my wife and kids were sicker than sick during those 2 years, and I was the only one that didn't have any kind of problems. But I get this, once or twice a year, every year otherwise. Although this time around it's considerably worse than normal, but it's been worse than this in the past too. Anyway, next we'll go to Jim, KS9Q. It's your turn on the 7-3 round.
Oh, very good, Matt. Well, since last time around, I had the HW16 going on the outside antenna, picked up a few signals. I don't have a proper antenna for it, so it's not probably a totally fair test. And I think it definitely needs an alignment, and maybe just a little bit more work. But early testing is definitely looking promising. So that's a project that's kind of coming into its own. And I was really hoping to have that ready for straight key night. That would just be fun. Fire that old girl up and see what we can do with 75 watts and some CW and just have a ball with it. So good hearing everybody out tonight. Been able to copy just about everybody except Dale, and sounding pretty good. Band is pretty decent on my end, and like I said, Matt, your radio is just working perfectly. Sounds really nice. 7-3, and say hello. I know she checks in here once in a while, but good to hear everybody on, and we'll catch you guys later. Back to that. This is KS9Q.
All right, thank you, Jim. Say 7-3 to you, and very good on that HW16. That would be a blast trying to do straight key night with that. Although probably less of a big deal for you. I'm not I'm not a Morse code guy at all. Although when Warren K9IZV used to do the straight key net on the repeater there, I always completed that, just because he's going real slow. I couldn't get on HF and do it at any speed, I don't think. Especially not now. It's been way too long. And well, I was gonna make some other comment here, and I don't recall anymore. But I guess with that, we'll turn it back to Steve. And Steve, you can pass it to Dale if you don't mind. N9FSE from KC9UDX.
No problem. Dale, 73 round, if you heard any of that, it's your turn for 73 round. N9FSE.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Dale. 7-3 to you. And hope you continue to recover, and maybe we'll see you Saturday, maybe not, we'll see. And I will say, this concludes the 2 a.m. net. Feel free to rag chew on this frequency after my transmission. We will meet again on the 9th of January. My overtime schedule did not change for next year, although my boss's boss says we're not working any more overtime, which I don't believe for anything. But I don't anticipate any conflicts. This year worked out pretty good. They relaxed the overtime requirements quite a bit, so that helped out a lot. But we'll see how it goes. Sure, we'll be just fine. And otherwise, I do want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody, and thank you for another year. This probably was 10 years. I would have probably done something to commemorate that, but I couldn't really nail it down. So maybe I'll try to do a better job with that. Come up with a little better information. Maybe we'll do something next year. Who knows? And I probably should make a commitment to go to the South Milwaukee Hamfest next year and run the net from there. Have not done that in a very long time, and every year it happens before I realize it. So, otherwise, I guess I'll say 7-3 and good night to everybody. This is KC9UDX.